Alright, Shalom. Before I start, going to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakorash, give honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim, Wah Akwath, learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. Another video through the Spirit. Your brother Malak from GMS Detroit. Hey, another lesson right here. The American dream has slowly been stripped from the Americans, piece by piece. Hey, Elder Malcolm from Chicago just did a video, and then also I happened to come across another clip showing you that the American dollar has been extremely devalued while the prices of everything for living is going up. And conveniently, what is Esau doing at the same time? Setting up these data centers, getting rid of all of the amenities and utilities in society that once were affordable, right? And he's about to be replacing them. If you don't have his mark, you're not going to be able to function in the system. That is the reason why he's slowly been breaking down your ability to afford to live. Housing all the way up, vehicle prices all the way up, food, gas prices all the way up. And when he declares his mark, you'll have to make a choice. Latch on and hold on and attempt to stay in this world and take it, or not take it and be blocked out and locked out of the system and trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Everybody's about to be faced with that choice real soon. Let me start with this scripture, then we'll get some clips and videos. Esau's about to shut it all down. Shut it all down. I don't know if I got time for the train. Let me get I'm sorry, y'all. Let me get Revelation. Yep, okay. Revelation 3 and 10 says because thou hast kept. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yep. Because thou hast kept my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Alright, so just wanted to let that, hey, this is he's making life tighter, and soon he's going to come with his final ultimatum. Take the mark or be barred out of society. The elect are going to pass the test. The majority of the people are not going to pass that test because they're going to miss their lives in Babylon. Right, they're going to still desire to be in this place, just like Lot's wife did. Let this first clip play with the 15-minute cities, then we'll get the other videos. Now we'll come to an understanding why this man is devaluing the dollar.
Somehow stumbled into America's first 15-minute city, and it's being built right now. It's in Frisco, Texas, and people are shocked to learn the details.
This is what I mean, ladies and gentlemen, about a smart city.
To the parking lot. Then you will arrive at your destination.
These apartment complexes will have everything that you need. Grocery store, daycare center, hair salons, you name it, it's going to be here. Doctors, you name it. So you really have no reason to go anywhere else. And as I said before in other posts, they want you comfortable being uncomfortable. Look at this project. I am actually on site at this facility, this new 15-minute city that they're building. And as I told you guys in the previous post, I own a trucking company, and my purpose of being here is that we deliver the lighting for this place. And this is how I learned that this place actually existed. So these are the lights that I bring here every week, twice a week, for this monstrosity of a complex. So it's just not, I'm getting pictures from somebody else. This is actually a real place that I'm at. This is in Frisco, Texas.
Now, to his credit, he tried to warn people about the dangers of this comment section.
So that's all we need from there, right? They're getting this New World Order society set up.
There are
So now let's go back. Now, that's the reasoning for breaking down society. They're about to funnel everybody into these, places, at least their attempt. Now let's go here and check on that dollar.
The dollar has lost 28 to 29% of its purchasing power since 2016. Prices are 40% higher than they were in 2016 based on CPI inflation. Y'all know what that means? That means something that used to cost $1 is $1.40 now. In 10 years, it went up. But that's not the only bad thing. $1 is worth 29% less. 100% of $1 is $1. $1 is worth 70 cents now. What the I'm trying to tell y'all. Not only is it 40% more, but the dollar is 30% less. It's the same dollar bill, but it's worth less. You're not getting it. We're getting broker. I told them, I said $10,000 10 years ago and $10,000 today are two different things. $10,000 10 years ago could move mountains. $10,000 today cannot move mountains. And somebody said, what is he talking about, bro? $10,000 is $10,000. No, bro, I don't think you understand. The price of rent for a 2-bedroom at one point was $1,500. Before it was $1,500, it was $1,000. You could get a 2-bedroom house and live for $1,000 a day. $10,000 would have paid your rent for 10 months. $10,000 cannot pay your rent for 10 months today. Do you understand? To get 2+ bedrooms today is $2,000 plus. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That only gets you half of the months it used to get you. But the dollar bill is still the dollar bill. The 5 is still the 5. The 10 is still the 10. But the prices are out of there. And like somebody in chat said, no wage increase. That means whatever your minimum wage is for a regular job, 9 to 5, it didn't go up. If anything, it went down. It's not, oh, y'all make $8, y'all make $7.25. We're gonna raise it to 10. Or you in LA, so it's like, yo, it was 10, then we raising it to 20. Nah. It's still 10. It's still 8. It's still $7.25. They're us. We gotta lock in. So now you growing up carelessly and you never know these facts, but I'm gonna translate it for you. So when I tell you that $10,000 today and $10,000 tomorrow, $10,000 today and $10,000 10 years ago is separate, you're gonna be like, oh, it's just 10 years. But no, bro. 2016 was our favorite year. Everybody like to say, yo, that's when Uzi was popping, PNB Rock was out, everybody, Cardi was prime Cardi. That's when life was lit. No, that's when life was cheap, Cardi. That's when you can pay your rent. That's why 2016 was lit. Because you can have a 2-bedroom house and move out of your mom's house affordably. Now you looking at it like, how the fuck I'm supposed to do that?
And so, like he said, we're getting broker and broker while things are becoming more costly. And 2016 wasn't the golden years. Things prices was up. Things were more affordable than they are now. But the American dollar used to be even stronger. So we'll take it even further back with the next video I'm going to play from Elder Malcolm. But yeah, it is 2016 was more affordable than 2026. That much is true. And that just goes to show you how much weaker the dollar is. Y'all, I remember, man, we had a spot, me and a couple brothers, we had a 3-bedroom for $850, bro, up here in Michigan. Now here it is, you got 2-bedroom apartments that are $1,300. Nigga, you do the math, bro. You do the fucking math. So it's when you look at the youngsters complaining, why they, can't make money, they don't have a place to stay, they're still with their parents. There is some truth to it. They literally cannot afford to get their own spot in their own vehicle in a lot of cases. Now, a lot of them make the bad decision of going to college, getting all that debt for a stupid degree in humanity, like sociology or psychology, or social service BS, to come out, don't get the job. Now they owe, a crap ton of money. And a lot of people have fallen into that trap. Or, you go the regular nigga route, don't go to college, just try to shuffle around. You get a little job at Home Depot, then get in one of the factories somewhere. But that's not going to cut it. That's not cutting it no more, y'all. This ain't like the age of our grandparents and great-grandparents, where you could just go up to the plant and life would be sweet. You got a house. house, a boat, 3 cars, chicks stay at home. That shit's dead and over with. And the elites have purposely stripped the power of the American dollar and from the people to funnel everybody. Let me get this other clip. Let's go here real quick. And what do the scriptures tell you, y'all? When you take away a person's ability to provide for themselves, you're essentially killing them. The elites know exactly what they're doing. That was the whole point for the Federal Reserve, right? What was that 1914, Jekyll Island, if I remember correctly, right before World War I, right? Ain't nothing federal about the Federal Reserve. It's a foreign entity. And ever since they got rid of, because the dollar used to be backed by gold and silver, they got rid of the gold, then they got rid of the silver. This is people have died behind this. Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, right? John F. Kennedy was assassinated. People who didn't want the dollar to become a fiat currency, right? Unbacked piece of paper that is simply manipulated by the elites. That has given them their power, and now we all feel that pain and suffering all these decades later. Sirach. Oh, this is good. Sirach 34:21. It says, "The bread of the needy is their life. He that defraudeth him thereof is a man of blood." So taking away a man's food is killing him. He that taketh away his neighbor's living slayeth him, and he that defraudeth the labor of his hire is a bloodshedder. Why? Because poverty leads to crime. Crime, most of the time, results in death. This is the correlation, right? People don't, you look at our people in America, yeah, they're under the curses. That's why we find ourselves in a situation. But people like to say that, oh, y'all are low IQ, low impulse control. No, we're in a heavy perpetual state of oppression and poverty. So of course, niggas are gonna look to do things that might be illegal to gain resources. And then what happens? The United States penal system. So now you end up in jail. Now you end up with a rap sheet. Can't get a regular job. Can't get a good job. You go back to the crime and try to make more money. You get locked back up. Recidivism. Back to prison. That's the cycle. To keep everybody down. And here soon they're about to shift us over into the New World Order system. MOTB. The charagma, the chip. Verse 23, when one buildeth and another pulleth down, what profit have they both then but labor? So you trying to build, and the elites are pulling down. You'll never become successful. The American dream is dead. Wake up, Jacob. So I'm going to let this play right here now, the video from Elder Malcolm.
Out. The U.S. dollar has lost 30% of its purchasing power over the last 6 years. Hold on to that thought. 30%. I want everybody to just take that in for just a second. Okay?
That's evidence that they're speeding up, what they've done, because it's 90% total since the invention of the Federal Reserve. It's a total of 90%. Okay? So basically, $3 today, $100 back then, you only get $3 of buying power today with $100 today, where $100.
That's terrible, y'all. That's terrible. That's why you watch certain movies and film, or you see certain documentaries, about the old America, right? The Wild West days. A guy will walk in the saloon with 50 cents and be able to buy 10 cases of beer, or people would make a deal. They'd buy a whole plot of land, acres and acres of land for $50. Why? Because the dollar was stronger back then. It was exchangeable for gold and silver. You could go buy some cattle, some milk, some guns, some wine, some land, some buildings, all for $1,000. Today, that'll cost you $1 million. That's how bad the dollar's been devalued.
Bought you about $600-700 worth of stuff back then, maybe even more.
6 years. So that means that the US dollar is not worth what it was in even 2024, or not 2024, excuse me, and even like 2019 compared to what it is now. It's not even worth the same as 2019. In fact, this gentleman here, he did a pretty good breakdown. Shout out to Andrew here. The purchasing power of $100 since the Federal Reserve was created. 1913, $100. 1923, $57.89. 1933, $76.15. 1943, $57.23. 1953, $37. 1963, $32. 1973, $22. 1983, $9. See this big drop here? 1973, the US dollar was worth $22. This is the purchase.
What she means $100 is now worth $22 in 1973. Okay? Which would explain why my very first car was a 67 Mustang. Matter of fact, my first two cars. Right? At 19 years old, I had a 67 Mustang, exactly like the one in the movie The Outside.
Y'all, how many 19-year-olds today with a regular job, or potentially in college, can afford a Mustang? Nigga, zero. At least their parents be rich. You'll see these punk ass heathen, these Edomites, they'll be rolling around in a new BMW, a new fucking Mercedes. We're talking about without the help of your wealthy parents, right? From these motherfuckers who aren't under the curses. How many 19-year-olds can just get up today and go buy a sports car? Nigga, zero. Unless you've been saving since you were 2. And now you introduce the credit system. The jig is up. The American dream is over. Over with.
The same model, same color. Like that sky blue, grayish blue interior. All right. My favorite, still wish I had it. I wish I'd never got rid of it. And then after that, I had another, I got the 67 Fastback, just like the one in Bullet. That was a 68, but those two are almost identical. It's very hard to tell those two apart. All right. Those were my first two cars, 19 and 21 years old. I had those cars. Okay. Those cars, both of those cars, even in the condition that they're in, one was practically mint condition, especially the first one, the coupe. The Fastback wasn't as in greatest shape as the same because it wasn't all original as the first one. But both those cars together today, all right, would be worth about $150,000 easily, because the 67 coupe that was meant, that's about an $80,000-$90,000 car, and the other one in the condition it was in, you can get about maybe 30 for it. All right, 30 or 40. And yeah. Yeah. And car enthusiasts will probably be able to. So just consider that. Think about that. I'm just giving you a marker to understand. And those cars came off the line back then, because in 1967, that car came off the line brand new for somewhere around $3,000. The both of them. The first one was a high performance 7. That car came off the line brand new for somewhere around $3,000. The both of them. $3,500 at the most.
Y'all, imagine that still, man. Imagine if brand new cars were still $3,000, $3,500. You could, bro, some of us could literally, even now, right? Us brothers in this truth, hey, the Lord has set it up to a lot of us, we making decent little bread. Some of us could literally have 2-3 cars outside, bro. Fucking 4 if you want it. Here it is, the average car now, right? You trying to get some on the low end that's still decent, $20,000, $25,000, $28,000. That's 10 times less amount of money, bro. That's like $100 a month note instead of a $350 a month note, which is on the lower end. You can get you something nice, but what they say in America, the average car note is like 700. That's on top of having kids, on top of paying to live somewhere. Good luck. The dream is dead. Esau has purposely priced everyone out. You know, and not only that, hey, so if the car would have been 3,000, man, y'all get shit. And a bag of flour now is like what, $7? Probably would have been 50 cents. You know, a case of water is now gonna run you $5. Would have been maybe $1. You see that everything was substantially, you know, more affordable. Now it's not, and we see, you know, the repercussions and ramifications of that in society. And who has been doing that? Day by day, year by year. Esau Edom, the elites. Come on now, baby.
Because the first one was a high performance 289, and the fastback was a 302. All right. And now, look how much the dollar has deteriorated to where a $3,000 car, now you will pay up to $100,000+ for it. What is that telling you?
Purchasing power. But come 1983, it quickly drops to $9.94. 1993, a little over $6. 2003, a little over $5. 2013, a little over $4. And 2026 right now, the US dollar, $2.99.
That's fucking crazy. Excuse my French, but not really. I bought a pack of gum yesterday for $3.20. Okay? Think about that in comparison to a $100 bill. That's really all it's, you know, because I was a kid, you know, I was a kid in the 70s and 80s, man. Kid in the 70s, you know, a teenager in the 80s. And pack of gum was, you know, but
So, you know, that's really it, man. Just wanted to highlight that from the elder's testimony himself, man. I couldn't imagine, man, you know, you know, born in the late 90s, grew up in the 2000s, and we thought we had it good back then, right? But things were even cheaper as the decades went back further, and that's because the dollar was stronger. So this guy, Esau Edom, as it can't be stated enough, he's purposely destroying the dollar and everyone's ability to afford to live so that he can congeal, meaning put together, right? Or hold everyone together by way of his MOTB system. That's what he's going to introduce as the fixer to all these problems. Take this C-hip and you'll be able to live. That's how they're going to be, because you would think, man, would nobody let nobody. Well, nigga, if you can't afford nothing, they gonna make it. They gonna make the choice easy for you. Just take this, right in your little hand, right in your little forehead. That's how they're gonna get everybody's. All right, and that's what we'll wrap up with. That's why you're gonna see everybody getting hipped up. Yeah, Revelation 13. Yep. Revelation 13:16, it says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Bingo. So if you want to participate and have access to society, you will have to receive his C-hip, the Karagwa, the chip, which will have your financial, your medical, and all your legal information, and integrate you with the system. That is the reality of the situation. That's why all these events have been playing out. All right, hey, so with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rachakurash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the elect Akim, Wa Akwath, learning and teaching in truth and sincerity. Shalom.